So the other day, I was playing Puyo Puyo Champions when a random thought came to my mind. What is the most damage you can do with a single Puyo chain? Since I lack the skill, or Puyo luck, to build these myself, I took to the chain simulators. For accuracy, I decided to use the official one included in Puyo Puyo 20th Anniversary. Naturally, since longer chains generate more nuisance, my first thought was to build the longest chain possible. Under standard Puyo rules, the board is 6 spaces wide and 12 spaces tall, with an invisible 13th row above the board. With this in mind, I have 78 spaces to work with. Each link in a chain has to have at least 4 Puyo in it to pop. So, if I only pop in groups of 4 to minimize the amount of space the chain takes up, I'll have the most space possible. This leaves a 19 chain as the largest possible chain. It leaves 2 open spaces on the board, which isn't enough for another link. A 19 that only pops in groups of 4s scores exactly 2,501 nuisance. However, by experimenting with the 2 empty spaces I had, I was able to reach a total of 2,613 nuisance. This is all before the margin time or target point is taken into account. Under standard rules, the damage is calculated with the score generated from the chain divided by the target point, which is 70 by default. For instance, my strongest 19 chain generated 182,960 points, which when divided by 70, grants a number of roughly 2,613, and sure enough, that's the amount of nuisance that's generated according to the game. If I were to set the target point to 10 instead, the chain would generate 18,296 nuisance. As for margin time is the amount of time in a match before the target point starts decreasing until it hits 1 and stops. The default margin time is 96 seconds. If we were to set the chain off after the target point hits 1, it would send 182,960 nuisance, making it the most damaging attack possible under standard Puyo Puyo rules. While these results probably aren't conclusive, it was the most I managed to come up with. It's probably possible to squeeze a little extra damage out of these chains with a different build than what I came up with, but I can confidently say that 1, these are impractical in a real match, and 2, the most damage possible in standard rules is over 180,000.